Hey y'all, it's me, Edie Hill 1988, and I'm here for another, I guess, Real Talk with the Rices, but it's going to be Real Talk with Emerald because I'm in John's car. I'm actually, good grief, I'm actually supposed to be on my way to the store, but I figured I'd go ahead and do a Real Talk now that it's nice and quiet. So, I got a question. God, mate, it says, okay, I screenshot it, so it says January 8th. January 8th, I got a question. I'm sorry, I'm just getting to it. But the question says, or the comment says, I have a 5-month-old and we are planning a second. Plus, I'm in junior college and a full-time housewife. Some days, baby is a dream and I get everything done. And sometimes she won't let me put her down all day. How did you balance school with kids and your house chores? I have mastered working with one hand. I've typed an entire research paper with one hand because I had to get it done. I do get how hard it can be going from 1 to 2. I just hope the next baby is a little easier than my little diva. So the question was basically, I had to stop for a second, y'all. So the question was basically, how did I get everything done? Yes, how was I a mother of multiples and finishing school? And if you don't know, I received my bachelor's degree in social work from North Carolina State University, and I actually went, on campus for that. And I graduated when I was like 20-something weeks pregnant with Carson. And obviously Kane was here already. He was like almost 1.5, something like that. And so I finished up school when she was still in the belly, obviously, when I was 20-something weeks pregnant with her. And then when she was like 7 months old in 2012, and then I started my master's degree in counseling, and that was actually, thank goodness, that was an online cognate, so I was able to do that from home. There were a few times where I had to, go out and about in the community and, interview certain people, do certain things like that, but for the most part, it was from my computer, so that was a godsend. But, yeah, and okay, I don't know where to start. So, to me, honestly, I felt like the online cognate was a lot harder than actually going to campus and that kind of thing because I actually had to hold myself accountable. At home, it's really easy to get behind on your schoolwork. And honestly, you don't have anyone overseeing you. So it's like you're doing your work and you turn it in and they say it's perfect or they say, revise something or that kind of thing. So, to me, the online cognate, like even though it was only 2 years, that was a lot harder to me than undergrad and actually having to go to a class and sit down and have the one-on-one instruction and, the oversight because I had to hold myself accountable. And that was really hard being pregnant because I finished when Kylan was almost 2 weeks old. I finished my master's degree. So it was really hard having Kane as a toddler, having Carson as a toddler, and then being pregnant with Kylan, finishing my my online, my counseling degree. That was really hard because there were times I just wanted to lay in bed. There were times when, I had the morning sickness or the all-day sickness, and I still had papers due. I still had research papers and assignments and discussion boards and you name it, y'all. It was really, really, I'm not going to lie, it was really, really hard. And I think the main thing that got me through it was knowing that I had to do it. Like, I just didn't want to be in school the rest of my life. I saw myself, I used to always say, oh, I'm going to get married at 25 and have a baby at 30. I used to always say that for some reason. I was smaller. When I was younger, I used to always have my life planned out. And I obviously planned, even before I had children, I was like, I'm going to get my degrees out of the way. And so I didn't want my children to kind of hinder me. Like, I knew what I wanted out of life. I knew, right now I know, okay, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I'm not going to be a stay-at-home mom forever. I know that. Like, I love being a stay-at-home mom, but I will not be a stay-at-home wife. I cannot picture staying at home all day. No offense, no offense at all to women that stay at home that don't have children at home, but I can't do it. Like, for me, I would go insane. So I knew that I needed to finish my degrees so that way when my kids were at least school age, or, whenever I decided to go back to work, go back to work, whenever I decided to go to work, then I would have it out of the way. I remember when I finished my, when I finished grad school and I had like a research paper due, it was like, God, it was like 30-something pages. That was ridiculous. And they gave me 1 month. I think all my work was due November the 2nd because I had Kylan on October 2nd. And they were like, oh, just turn it in November 2nd. All of my professors were amazing. They gave me, so much leeway. I feel like it's dark in here. Sorry if it is, y'all. But they were pretty much like, oh, turn it in a month from now. And I remember telling John, I was like, I'm over this school thing. I don't want to do it. And I'm going to get my work in. So I basically finished everything 2 weeks early just because I was tired of school, y'all. And I wanted to snuggle with my newborn baby and with my older two. And I didn't want to have to stress out about, okay, well, let me go, I've got to do all the schoolwork and then deal with my child. So what I did was I had a 30-something page research paper due. And it was my final assignment. And Kylan was almost 2 weeks old. And what I did was I put him on the nursing pillow, and I would nurse him, and I would type and research and all that. And then when he'd be finished, I would get John to come in and take him out. I did it like on a Saturday. Yeah, on a Saturday. So I would get John to come in and take him out, and John would come in every 2 hours, and I would nurse him around the clock. I hardly got up, and it took me like 14 hours, y'all. But I sat down for like 14, almost 15 hours, and I finished my 35-page paper. And I feel like I neglected my kids that whole day. I felt so bad. I was crying. I was upset. But at the end, I'm so grateful I did it, because it was just spend the rest of my time with them. Like, I felt like I feel like I was already taking a lot of time away from them with the schooling and stuff. I know this probably sounds weird, because you're like, oh, you're at home and you're doing schoolwork from home. But it's still like, it was still a lot for me to have small children and then have to go away, like, have to go away for an hour or so here or there for John to watch them so I can finish an assignment, or having to wait until they went to sleep at night. Like, there were times where I didn't get to bed until like 5 or 6 in the morning, and then they'd be up at 7, and I just finished a paper or discussion board or something, because I tried to make sure that my schoolwork didn't impede on my stay-at-home momhood, if that makes sense. So there were a lot of sleepless nights. There were a lot of me just sitting up crying, saying, John, I don't want to do this crap no more. Oh my God, like, I'm so over school. Why didn't I just go to school? Like, I used to love like makeup and nails and that kind of thing. And I was just like, oh my God, I should just gone to like a trade school, or, done something like that would have taken like a year or 2 years and been, gotten a certificate or something, just been done. But I knew that there's something in me that draws me towards social work and counseling and that kind of thing. So basically, I just had to buckle down and do it. And the main thing that got me through it was prayer. Like, I prayed and prayed and prayed. And I said, Lord, I know it's not going to always be this way. And I felt like it was the worst it could ever be. So I was like, it's got to get better. And it did, y'all. When I finished my final assignment, like I said, Kylan was almost 2 weeks old. And I was done. And I remember, like, the next day, like, I was like, and even still, like, it's weird because all of our work was due on Sundays. And I finished grad school a little over a year ago, y'all. And every Sunday I still get anxious. Like, I still get nervous. Like, it scarred me, because every Sunday I'm like, oh my God, John, I got to get home because I got to get the assignment due. He's like, Emerald, like, we don't have to go anywhere. Like, it took me months, like maybe 6 to 8 months before I wasn't like really anxious and stressed out about Sunday afternoons, because I feel like, okay, I've got to get home to get these assignments done. Like, it took me a long time, because you got to think I did the same thing straight for 2 years. And so it took a long time for me to get out of that mode, like the whole, the work is due on Sunday mode. But, so yeah, but how did I get it done, y'all? How did I manage my schoolwork, my chores? How did I manage school and being a stay-at-home mom? There were some days where when the house was immaculate. There were some days where it was trash, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. There were some days where it was gorgeous and everything was just wonderful. And then there were days where I could not get anything done. Even wearing a baby, I couldn't get anything done, and it didn't get done, y'all. Like, you could not stress yourself out with it. I know. Even like as a stay-at-home mom, you kind of feel like, oh my God, my house got to be perfect, because if it's not, that people are going to say, what do I do all day? I got over that real quick, y'all. I don't care what people think I do all day, what they don't think I do all day. I know what I do all day. My husband knows what I do all day. And so I had to understand, like, if your house is messy today, it can be clean tomorrow. Like, that's the only thing that kept me sane, was knowing that, like, you can't kill yourself. You can't stress out about the things you can't control. And there were days where I was like, okay, either I'm going to get schoolwork done and the kids are going to be fed, or the whole house is going to be clean. Which one? So I honestly had to prioritize. And to me, a lot of times, the house wasn't a priority. Like, was it a pigsty? God knows. Like, I'm the clean as you go type. So honestly, as soon as a kid throws something down, I'm really quick to pick it up. But if it took maybe 15 to 20 extra minutes, or even 15 to 20 hours before I picked it up, then I had to be okay with that for my sanity, for my sanity's sake. So the main thing is, if you're a person that prays, then get your pray on. And know that it won't always be this way. Know that you're not going to be in school forever. You said you're in a community college, so that should be about 2 years. Not that I'm saying that's a small amount of time anyway, but just know that 2 years isn't forever. And like I said, my grad school was 2 years, and I still can't believe I'm done. Like, it feels like I just started, and it was honestly, this year will be 3 years ago since I was done a year ago. So I'm hoping I answered all of your I hope I answered everything. Yeah, how did you balance school with kids and house chores? So sometimes the house went lacking. And like I said, it was never a pigsty, but sometimes it went lacking in order for me to be the best mom I could be. And then there were nights where I just stayed up cleaning up clean up the house. And then there were days where I didn't clean at all. And then my husband would come home and he would help out, that kind of thing. And that's the main thing too. Don't be afraid to get help, because you're not realizing you are helping your family, and you're bettering yourself and your family by going to school and getting your education. So people are going to be looking down on you and saying, oh God, this girl's in school and she can't keep her house clean and she's got children. Like, if people are around you like that, they don't need to be around you. So I had to understand, like, okay, when my husband came home, and even though he worked all day, if he saw that I was stressed out and overwhelmed and dealing with schoolwork and children, he would say, Emerald, I got the dishes. Thank you. I wasn't going to beat myself up and say, I should be doing the dishes because I'm a stay-at-home mom. Like, I realized then that I needed to accept his help as well. And so yeah, I feel like I've been rambling, but I hope I answered your question. So if you have any more questions, comments, or concerns, let me know, y'all. And I will see y'all, I guess John and I'll probably see you back for the next Real Talk. So like I said, leave any Real Talk suggestions below and we'll be sure to answer your questions. All right, bye y'all.